It's our old girl. She wants some more power. The wife said, let's make some more power. So what we're gonna do is, if we're gonna make more power, we're gonna make more heat. So Mishimoto hooked us up with a radiator and we're gonna put it in. So that what you hear right there, that's typical cutout problems right there. I see you found the cutout switch, Laz.
Yeah, I can't find the boot.
Dang old big girl. Woo. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, cute girl. You're pretty. Don't, I won't do that again. All right, guys, this is what we're working with here. Yes, she needs some cleaning up, all right. We still have our duct tape here. We never did anything with this, you know. But we got our LT4 blower, ported heads, cam, headers, cold air, E85. We got our coolant tank and all that, so everything is going pretty good. But in the interest of throwing more boost at it, we really wanted to put the Mishimoto radiator in there, and should keep everything a little bit cooler and basically stay away from detonation. So if you can stay away from heat, in a lot of ways, you're really buying yourself a lot more safety measure. So if you guys are new to this channel, this is actually my wife's daily driver, True Blue daily driver. You guys got to check out a video that we have a little bit earlier of this thing pulling the wheels, and it says pigs can fly in the thumbnail. It is freaking awesome. And then a catastrophe happened shortly thereafter. Pretty cool story, you got to check it out. This thing does make some good power. We made 675 wheel with this, and it served its purpose pretty well. But we're looking to upgrade, and really we just want to try and keep this darn thing cool. Doing the radiator is something that, you know, we really kind of need to do if we're going to try and keep it cool and make it live and last. So Laz has taken a bunch of things off already while I've been kind of finishing up on a street tune. Let's actually look at this puppy. That looks like that belongs in a semi. That is freaking wicked.
I got some race car feel to it though.
It does. Yeah, that's some really nice fabrication, and those welds are pretty sweet. I will definitely say that is very impressive. No, yeah, you have to like $5, okay?
I can't
have welds this nice on your car. Actually, you do. Yeah, a lot of
no, mine's painted. It's kind of weird.
I think we're going to gain capacity just in how big the darn thing is. You know, that's something that a lot of people don't realize. When on this car, you know, we had 0.8 gallons capacity. Hold on, pause for Norman.
Looks like you're trying to cool a school bus.
On this car, we had a 0.8 gallon capacity on this. We put our expansion tank on the car and we gained 1.8 gallons capacity. Now with this right here, the fact that this is a larger radiator, we're going to gain capacity in our cooling system. So we should be able to not only cool more, but we have more that takes more volume that takes longer for it to heat up. Look at this fine specimen. There's a lot of heavy breathing going on here. So Norman, show them what we have here. It's like, nobody's paying attention to me at all. I just want to look at the dog. All right, so my hat's off to Mishimoto. This is really, really nice welding. It is a very well done unit. We're gonna see how everything fits. It's supposed to be pretty darn sweet. Go right in. So we'll see how that works out. I believe this has the tranny cooler on this side, and maybe we have the oil cooler on that side. But very, very nice unit. I would definitely recommend it so far. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. So this should be, what is it, about a ½ inch, maybe? Thicker? Yeah, probably about a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch thicker. So like I said, we should have a little bit more capacity and volume for our cooling system with this. Our last group of power modifications on this, we put a 4.5 inch intake on this and a Nick Williams 103 throttle body. And I wanted to say a big shout out to Nick Williams. If you guys are over 650 horsepower or want to build a combination somewhere around there, I do highly recommend that throttle body because it does pick up good power and the drivability is fantastic. I had zero tuning what I had to do whatsoever with that on this application. On an LSA supercharged car, I also highly recommend it because you will be able to pick up a bit more power. That blower is really demanding as much airflow as you can possibly get, and that is one part of the puzzle right there. Yeah, so looking at this, we are definitely at least twice the thickness on that radiator than this one. That's a little itsy bitsy thin one.
Yes, too much angle?
Oh, you all right? So dimensionally, it looks pretty darn good. Definitely a beautiful job on a direct replacement. So we got a 1.5 fingers, and then we go into 3 fingers, okay? Just in case you guys were wondering. It's about 1 inch to about 2 inches. So Laz was just telling me that this right here, which is the petcock, was not accessible in the vehicle. And the nice thing is that they make it at a point right over here. They moved it over here so we can drain it, and it makes it a lot more accessible, a lot more user-friendly. The bosses are also a lot nicer too. So there's been times where I've been a little reckless and or like if putting a radiator in myself, and you're like having one side in and you drop it, freaking break the ears off or something.
The clip fell off that side and it's still on this side.
Oh, yeah.
See where the clip's off on that one?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen on the new one.
Yeah, that is sweet. So the boss that's welded in there, you're not going to break that off. In other words, is what we're trying to say. So there's one over on this side, and there's definitely been times where I've had a radiator in, and if you're doing it with one person, or you just might get stuck on something, you jerk it up, and you break it. So that's also a beautiful thing. I would definitely say that's a nice attribute of this Mishimoto. There was a top shroud piece on here somewhere.
This one?
Oh, that one, yeah. So I'll make sure you guys are doing your job. All right, we've kind of came across something did not expect whatsoever. All right, so because the radiator is thicker, it pushes the shroud back a little bit. We had a little bit less clearance. We're putting the cold air intake on and kind of filling up the coolant. We kind of noticed that we didn't have any coolant in there. That was a little bit weird, but we were putting this all back together, filling that up. The intercooler pump still worked, and we had a bunch of water coming out of our cold air right here as we were putting this all on, and kind of follow that up through into the throttle body. And as you can see, there is water in the throttle body, and we don't know where it's coming through, if something is broken inside the snout or if we have a bad brick. The brick doesn't really make sense because that would fall straight down in the cylinders, but it has to be something somewhere up here because there's only so many places that water goes through. So we're gonna try and figure out what the heck is going on. This is something that we did not foresee. You can see the water, we'd already dumped it all out right there. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, that is totally. So we could have either just hydraulic the motor, like just could have happened. We don't know yet, but yeah, as you turn that over, that definitely was slinging some water out. So that's pretty crazy.
Here's sloshing in the rotor.
Yeah, that was weird, dude. Look at that. Holy.
This is not how you want to clean your
No,
motor.
that is not. Oh my gosh, man.
That's not the sink foam, is it?
That is freaking weird. All right, we got to figure out what the hell is going on. We might have cylinders might be full.
Very possible.
At this point, if that.
If this was just getting filled, pumping in, pumping in,
Yeah,
pumping
if we
in.
try and turn it over, we're gonna blow this thing apart. Holy crap, man. All right, well, we'll figure it out here. I don't think we've seen any heat exchanger bricks that have gone bad yet on an LT4.
No.
So, dang, that's crazy. Okay, so I just opened this plug, and there is a, check this out. And that's only about a quarter of what already came out. So we definitely have a bad brick that's puking in here. So hopefully we don't have like a bent rod or something that's stupid or something like that. But we could have hydrolocked this if we would have turned it on. But my wife had been saying something about condensation coming out of the exhaust, and I kept dismissing it, kept being like, it's just because it's cold. Well, I'm sorry, I was wrong. And we have a major issue. It could have been a lot worse. Okay, so we got this Mishimoto radiator, and in the interest of trying to keep this girl cool, we need to run this guy. What?
Nothing, no, you're good. I was itching my head, keep going.
I don't believe you. So guys, when you're making a bunch more power, you are going to generate a lot more heat. And in the interest of trying to keep this baby cool, we're going to put in that guy. This Mishimoto radiator should be able to stand up to the task of keeping this cool. We don't know how much power we're gonna make, but we're trying to make about 800 wheel horsepower, possibly more, and a lot of RPM. So this guy right here, this is our factory radiator. We're gonna replace this with our Mishimoto. Should be a very nice, quick, and easy swap. We got a lot of things out of the way already. Should be pretty darn simple, but we're gonna get to it in just a little bit here. Yeah, the one that we had for the Escalade was super nice. Oh, that is a really nice box. Oh, heck yeah. I did like this. I didn't know that that was the Mishimoto one. We've been hanging that guy for a little while. That's a good smeller. That is quite nice. So this should be about twice the width of the factory. Factory looks like it's about 1 inch This one is a 2-inch. So on this application, we're not even going to be using the full capability of this because they have the tranny cooler on a separate deal altogether. On our Escalade, everything was aluminum, all the mounts, the tabs and such. I really like that touch because there's been times where I've broken that before in the past. This is a really nice quality unit for sure. Yeah, see, I like that a lot. On this particular application, with the way this car is, it's kind of going more towards the race car setup. They've got a separate trans cooler and oil cooler. So we're not going to be actually using the oil and trans cooler part of the transmission, but that is a very, very nice feature for you guys that are going to be using this on, say, you know, for street driving and or, you know, kind of some spirited driving, such as like road course, autocross. Really, really nice units.
It's gonna be a little bit of a tough job.
Yeah, so there we go. We got our super thin factory radiator right there. The fact that we're gaining volume with this radiator, pretty darn close to almost double it. Not just because of that, but we have larger end tanks as well. We should be able to have a much more cooling capacity. So we got our fan and shroud still on.
They said that thing has a oil cooler in it.
It does. Oil cooler and a trans cooler, which I mean, you might even want to consider using the oil cooler there. It's a nice unit. I mean, it really is nice. Yeah.
We should definitely use the oil cooler.
Yeah.
It's really not.
And she's out.
Looking fantastic, boy.
I would say it's going to be approaching double the volume for sure. George, that is a mighty fine shirt that you got there.
Wow.
Where might you find such a fine piece of merchandise?
Like this at the Fasterproms store.
Shameless plug. Being as the nature of the build is missing certain parts and pieces, we don't have our lower grommets that hold the radiator in.
Nice. Can you put some duct tape around the bottom?
Sure, we can actually put a lot of duct tape on there. We can probably just duct tape it in place. In the meantime, we were really going for the aerodynamics of here, so we're just trying to, yeah, clean that up. Wouldn't want to have air tumbling over the car poorly.
We're thinking of just
Oh,
ramping
this
it
is
all.
a nice adjustable you got here, guys. You know where you got it? I got a pretty good guess.
Well, where did you get it?
I've been looking for it.
Definitely OEM fitment though. We're gonna get that in there. It's gonna be really nice and clean. She should slide right in that little tab. Very nice, very nice. This side's in.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely got to say kudos to Mishimoto once again. That is a very problem-free direct bolt-in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gotta get just the nut and the lock washer. Or you can weld it. I mean,
Still kind of patchy.
I know.
It's all right.
I'm aware, Jeremy.
We can't all have full manly beards.
oh,
yeah?
Oh yeah.
yeah, if you need some pointers, just holler at me.
I will say this is probably the easiest radiator install you could possibly ask for.
Yeah, you're freaking welcome. We did all the work. George just showed up, acted important.
Hey y'all, we got some stuff to do. Back away.
What's he gonna do? Break it?
Did you hear his laugh after that? Are you almost done, dude?
Means absolutely nothing. Yeah,
It's
just
like a
all waiting,
7
just
minute
gotta close the
install.
hood.
Hey!
All right.
Brand new radiator, punctured. All
Motor in faster.
right, we got to do some zip ties in the spirit of the build here. Come on. Maybe we can zip tie this to here.
You can put our shroud back on, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, minor detail.
He already put it upstairs with his stuff.
You won't be needing this.
It's in the inventory.
Really?
Weird how my window keeps getting all oily.
That's so weird. Dude, this really smells good. I think I would consider purchasing a Mishimoto just based on the fact of how darn good that smells.
Paradise and an air freshener.
That's pretty good.
Looks ready for eights to me.
All right, hold on. Hey, wait, hold this for just a second here. We got a special spot for this guy here.
Pen brace.
Boom.
Must stay. It's a good omen.
Can you imagine that thing at 150?
Oh, so just in case we have a problem.
Penguins can't fly.
Oh,
Might need to clean that off right there a little bit. Get the
Yes, sir.
super glue.
And she is done.
Oh, what's weird freaking mating calls going on over
What
here?
are you doing? Oh, that's so funny.
Well, that was pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Mishimoto radiator install on Ruby here. Got ours on the Escalade. Went in very nice, very clean. I really like the OEM fitment. Very pleased with the overall end product. Well, next, we gotta get this thing on the dyno and make some power. There's a highly scientific process behind this radiator fill.
Someone installed it, never filled it. It'll blown us up.
Oh boy. I hardly think that that is the first thing that's gonna happen. Well, as you like our tape, we're just trying to go for the aerodynamics, and that's salmon.
We're on the dyno. Ruby's staying nice and cool.
All right, everything looks pretty good. Once we got the air bubbles out of there, everything looked very, very well stabilized. It is kind of hovering around that 178 area, which is right near where a thermostat is. I think it'll be able to easily stand up to whatever power we make. And check out what she's making. She's making some really good power, and we'll see you guys later.